Welcome back to another episode of Mac Music Review. This is actually an episode of Mac Movie Review, which is a subset of videos now because this is going to be my fifth movie video. So my third best movies of the decade video. So I'm going to put them all in a playlist and call it Mac Movie Review. You'll see it on there. Anyway, if you want to see my other movie review videos, I can link those in the description. I might, if I remember. I don't know. Anyway, before I get into the best of the 90s, let's look at some honorable mentions. Just going to throw a few quick shout-outs. The original Toy Story, I feel like I gotta mention this movie because I didn't even put it in the top 5. This is one of the most legendary animated movies ever made. Possibly, it's up there with like the original like Disney Snow White, because this was the very first Pixar film. It was the very first CGI animated movie. It kickstarted Pixar's career, which of course is one of the best film studios ever to exist, and so that's pretty epic, you know. I like this film a lot. And then you have Princess Mononoke, or Mono, I don't know how to say the name of the movie, by Studio Ghibli, which is their extremely violent kind of nature-themed action movie type thing, and it's amazing. It's a great movie. It's very close to being in the top. If I had a top 6, that would be number 6, but I'm not doing a top 6. I'm doing a top 5, but that would be in it if I did a top 6. The other two movies I wanted to mention, Morgan Freeman movies, Seven and The Shawshank Redemption. Both of these films are really, really, really great, but, you know, Shawshank Redemption does have a few flaws here and there, and Seven as well, but still both are very, 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 very great movies. Let's top into the top 5. The order does not matter. I did them in order of, like, oldest to most recent, so kicking off it with the year 1990 with Goodfellas by Martin Scorsese. This, not The Godfather, is the best gangster film ever made, in my opinion. I love this movie. I actually saw this movie very recently, and I absolutely loved it. It's super, super fun to watch. There's a lot going on. It's extremely well done, extremely entertaining. It's really long. It's funny. It just, your eyes are always on the screen. The acting is fantastic. This is just an example of a fantastic movie. Like, everything about this is really great. The music is good. Like, this whole thing is just Scorsese. Not at his best. This is Taxi Driver is the best Scorsese film, but this is the second best Scorsese film. At least I haven't seen that many of his movies, but amazing movie nonetheless. One of the best of the 90s. Schindler's List to me is a perfect movie. This is it's not a movie that I've seen more than once, but I just find it to be on this entirely different level. It's extremely hard-hitting, it's hard to watch, and it's just it's not a movie it's not a fun movie. It is a movie that has a strong emotional core and a lot of heart, but and it does have some positivity, but overall it's a very heavy movie, a movie that's hard to really digest and hard to watch regularly. And I don't plan on watching it anytime soon again, but I remember this is a movie that will always stick with me, and a movie that I think has that impression on everyone who watches it. This is a universally acclaimed movie, and for good reason. This is easily one of the best movies ever made. While it's not one of my personal favorites, it is one of the best films ever made, if not the best movie ever made. It could be. If you gave it that title, I would not argue with you. Tarantino's masterpiece. I think this is, objectively speaking, his best movie. I think from just a film standpoint, this thing is just amazing. Like, I think this is just from a filmmaking perspective, from an acting perspective, Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta are like the best like buddy cop duo, or the best co-star. I don't even know what to say. They're the best their best movie duo like ever. They're epic. And this is just an amazing movie. This is I'm not sure if this is my favorite Tarantino movie. It's honestly between this and Kill Bill. I think I like Kill Bill better, And I think Kill Bill is the best action movie ever made. But, you know, this movie is amazing. Like, it's just everything about, I can't even, like, say anything. This is such a unique, fun experience. This is an example of just movies that exist to exist. And that's what Tarantino does. He makes movies for the sake of making movies. And this is one of them, and it's a best example of that ever. Wild, insane, tons of fun. You have to watch it. The Truman Show. Out of all the movies on this list, this is the one I have seen more than anything else, including the honorable mentions, including everything in the top 5. I have seen The Truman Show so many times, it's ridiculous. Jim Carrey is amazing in this movie. Easily one of his best roles, if not his best role. He absolutely kills it. It's a movie that is funny, that is really funny, but is more of a drama than a comedy. But it blends drama and comedy very well. And this is a movie that is just, once again, impeccably, like Goodfellas and Schindler's List and Pulp Fiction, all the movies on this list. It's amazing how well made this movie is and how rewatchable this movie is. One of the reasons I've come back to it so many times is because it's a movie that you get more out of it the more times you watch it. I don't even know if I can say that about all the films on this list because a lot of these I haven't seen even more than once. But this movie is amazing. It's amazing. It's so cool. It's so well done. It's everything you want in a movie and more. The Truman Show is a masterpiece. Toy Story 2 is the best film in the Toy Story franchise. And that's really, what's really crazy about this movie is that people don't know that. People bypass this movie. Critics, it's the third highest rated, so it's the second lowest rated by critics, and by regular people, I think it's like tied for the same score as Toy Story 4. That doesn't even have an 8 on IMDb, it has a 7.9, and it's like, somehow people are missing this. This is the most well-written, it's the most emotionally resonant, it's the most, and I wouldn't say animation-wise it's not the best because it's really old, but the setting is amazing, it's the most rewatchable, it's the most fun, it's the most enjoyable, it's the most entertaining, it's the most well-made, it's the best. It's the best in one of the best movie franchises ever, one of the best movie trilogies of all time, and I think this is the best sequel of all time. Once again, I gotta bring up the Godfather movies because people say Godfather 2 is the best sequel of all time. I'm gonna say no, you're wrong. You might say that, The Empire Strikes Back or whatever the second Star Wars movie is the best sequel. Nope, you're wrong. Toy Story 2, man. This is the best sequel. Amazing movie. That's all I got. What are your favorite movies of the 90s? I'm aware that there are a lot of other really amazing movies apparently from the 90s that I have not seen. For example, Green Mile, The Usual Suspects. I think Saving Private Ryan is like super overrated. I have not seen The Silence of the Lambs. Like there's a lot of these really, really famous, really legendary movies from the 90s. Like one of the Guy Ritchie films. I don't remember which one it was. I don't know if it was Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. It might have been. I don't remember which one it was exactly. But there's a lot of apparently amazing movies from the 90s that I haven't even seen, so I cannot even consider them for this list. What are your favorite movies from the 90s? Do you strongly disagree with anything I said here? Let me know down in the comments. Have a great rest of your day, guys.